with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. Hard like winter cold. Bust these fools, anything less than killing whack rappers is a crime. I stay trying to get mine. Stacking value, packing venues, winning over time. Ain't no fine timeline. Open your eyes, you're looking for the best, and this is what you find. Game is only for the bold. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing from parts unknown, your UFC and combat sports insider, Clever D, the Combat G, and the Sports Professor.
It is the Ball and Buds crew back at it again with our combat sports special and our boxing, MMA, UFC insider, you Clever D, the Combat G. What?
What is going on, people? Let's give you time to come in, file in. You know what I'm saying? Where we got this little sports special today. We having fun on this lovely Thursday. Usually we're on Wednesday, but we're switched up on Thursday. Why not switch things up? I know some of y'all don't switch up your toothpaste or your toothbrush. Some of y'all have some nasty toothbrushes that are old and outdated. Why don't we switch it up a little bit? Okay, we're gonna have some fun today. So boxing has been crazy. I say it's been crazy the last week or so. They Turkey Al Sheikh bought out the Ring magazine. It's a legendary Ring magazine. If you guys don't know what belt that is the belt to my right up there, the one with the red, white, and blue. If I can point the right way, there you go, right up there. That's the Ring magazine belt. But he bought them out. They had their awards in London this past weekend. Basically, who's who was there. You know what I'm saying? The big notable person that wasn't there was Gervonta Davis. And he had some choice words for Turkey Al Sheikh after offering him, telling him, give me 150 million and I'll fight for you. That ain't gonna happen. But now he's basically making fun of everybody that went over there and calling them D-riders and whatnot, which makes no sense because they're trying to put on the best fights that boxing needs, because boxing's been drowning the last, I would say, probably 10 years. Boxers aren't fighting each other. You got Earl Spence talking about the fights off of Fundora, and he ain't fought since he lost to Crawford years ago. So that's the problem with boxing right now. The best aren't fighting. That's just point blank period. I'm not gonna blame nobody, Al Heyman, but someone's to blame. But that went on, and a lot of fights have surfaced from that big event, that award special. Notably, the fight that everybody's talking about, everyone's reporting it. It's not official yet, but it sounds like where there's smoke, there's fire. There's legs to this story. That is Canelo versus Terence Crawford. It's not official. I'm not sure if it's going to be September or in May around Cinco de Mayo, but that fight should happen this year, and I cannot wait for that fight. Even though I don't want Terence Crawford to fight him because he's too small, but I'll still take it because he's chasing greatness. But that's the main fight that everyone's talking about. It's the big buzz coming from the awards, and there's so many other fights that have been signed and sealed, and hopefully Turkey will deliver. One of the main ones is Omar's favorite fight that will possibly happen, which is racist versus racist. Ryan Garcia. How do you figure out who you're going to fight while you're still suspended? You got him, and he possibly should be fighting Teofimo Lopez. Oh, my bad, Teofimo Lopez. And Devin Haney possibly should be fighting Jose Ramirez, and that's going to be on the Canelo Alvarez undercard in May. So that's going to be a crazy card. But since Turkey Al Sheikh is taking over, we're getting these crazy cards, just like the one in February with Better Be Even Bivol Part 2.
Good. I completely disavow any racism. I do not know why that would be my favorite fight. I would do not accept that. But yeah, no, that is. I don't want to talk about them. I don't really care about them. I hope they beat each other up and knock the racism out of each other. But what I do want to talk about is the Crawford Canelo fight, right? Because this is the one that everyone has been talking about now for years. Mm-hmm. And even though it's more for the mainstream, not an expert like yourself, or a long-standing watcher of boxing, like both of us, just uh, for the novice or the more bellwether mainstream fans, they really want to see this fight. But you and I have talked about this plenty, and you've even talked about it a lot of times on this show when we talked about it before. But your thoughts on obviously preliminary, because we haven't had it signed yet, but just for the people that may be new to the show, your like preliminary thoughts on why you think this fight may not be the best for pure boxing.
Well, I mean, I'm not. I love Terence Crawford. He's my favorite fighter right now. I want him to chase greatness. It's just that there's weight divisions for a reason, and weight classes are for a reason in boxing. And for him to jump up from 147, now he did beat Majimov at 154 recently and get another belt in another division. Now we're talking from 147 to 154. Now jumping all the way up to 168. That's a big jump, and when Canelo was around at 154 and he fought Amir Khan, Khan was a proven 147, okay, and he knocked Amir Khan into the shadow realm, and Amir Khan said the day of the fight he was like a cruiserweight. Other fighters have gone up, like Hell Brock when he moved up to fight Triple G, broke his orbital socket. Then his next fight back, he fought Earl Spence. I believe Earl Spence broke his orbital socket, kind of derailed his career. A lot of these fighters, when they move up, it doesn't end well. So, it's one of those things where I'm not a fan of, financially, yes, it'd be great for Bud because he'd be cashing out. It's a big sum of money, and he's chasing greatness. But I'm just one of those people that I don't want to see my hero go out, on a sword like that, because I just don't think it'll be, I just think Canelo's too big for him. Pause.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, definitely pause on that. Reckless. So anyways, that's for all y'all who may be new to the show. Obviously we've talked about this more than once, and so Clubber D has obviously what most people have come on to say after he originally said it was about the fact of the difference in weight, and all of that stuff is going to make this harder than most people think it's going to be, because a lot of the mainstream non-knowledge people will think that this will be a fight that Crawford could most likely win sometimes, and that's just not true. What's up, Flo? Shout out to Bottom Line Sports. We are going live right now to the Bottom Line Sports on Facebook. So if you're watching us there, shout out. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Is it too late for a fight like Duran Leonard 3? How amazing would that be? Clubber D, how would you like to see that? Even though obviously that's the fantasy fight, but
I'm bummed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, hey, I get what he's saying though. He's saying that we need the fights that Turkey Al-Sheikh is looking to make, right?
Duran don't want that. He quit the last fight, so they don't want that fight. Come on now, this is no mas. Can't go back from that. But Turkey is what boxing's needed. He's gonna be like the Dana White of boxing. That's gonna be my guess, because you gotta remember, Dana White, you cannot hold on to the belt for so long, or they're gonna have an interim champion. A lot of these commissions, a lot of these different belt organizations let these fighters do that, and these fighters are fighting for different organizations. Right now, Turkey Al-Sheikh already has Queensberry. He already has Matchroom Boxing. He already has Golden Boy. He bought out Top Rank. ESPN is out of the business of boxing. They're with DAZN now. So all those top ranked fighters that you see on ESPN are going to be going over there. So he is in sole control of majority of the sport, besides PBC Al Heyman, which has a deal with Amazon, but that's only a TV rights deal. Amazon's not fronting the money to have those fighters fight. Okay, so that's why you don't see a lot of PBC cards right now, and those fighters have been on the shelf,
right,
holding up the divisions.
Right, everybody's trying to keep their O, or everybody wants to make as much money as possible and fight tomato cans and get their record up and all this stuff, and fight instead of fighters fighting the best fighters best fighters fighting each other, which is what we all really want. But as you mentioned, right, Turkey Al-Sheikh is definitely doing that, and we see him trying to make the matches that everybody wants to see, including the Canelo and Crawford, and then he was talking about all the other different matchups that comes to his mind as a fantasy booker, or as a real booker now, but most people would, the fantasy dream matches, so to say.
Tony
So
Khan.
you were talking about this Canelo Crawford coming up and the possible other fights that we could see that Turkey could sign, that it could even possibly be on that card. Do you have more into that?
Yeah. So
Barry, by the way, sorry. Yo, shout out, brother.
So yeah, like I said, it'd be that card would have races versus races, and then you have Devin Haney fighting on it also, and that would hopefully set up Haney versus Garcia part 2. But the thing is, Garcia doesn't want to do VADA testing, which pretty much all boxers do, and he's not going to do VADA testing. That fight ain't going to happen because he's talking about using USADA or other testing agencies, but VADA tests the most. There's 85 more stimulants and other supplements that they test for that the others don't. They're the top tier. They're the standard in boxing when it comes to testing. So ain't no way around that one. You know what I'm saying? Every major fight, everybody goes through VADA. So stop cheating, and you could win a belt. But so that's besides that fight, Conor Ben and Chris Eubanks, their father's fault. That'd be another good one. Turkey talked about he wants AJ versus Wilder, which would be just a fight for nostalgia because we always wanted them to fight. He also wants to set up a 5 versus 5, similar to Queensberry versus Matchroom 5 versus 5. He wants to do a 5 versus 5 where Mexico versus USA. So that would be interesting with that 5 versus 5. He tried to set it up before, but something happened. I don't think he had control, or he didn't have the resources of the top ranked fighters at the time. They were just working out their agreements. But now that's one of the cards he wants to do a 5 versus 5. So, and I love that. That's gonna be phenomenal. Hopefully that 5 versus 5 will be Zepeda against Shakur Stevenson, like it was originally set up to be. So that would be very, very interesting to do that. I want to see who they're going to pick as far as on American side and Mexico side. So that'd be pretty cool. And do Puerto Ricans count on American side too? How are they going to work that? Because Puerto Rico versus Mexico is always a good boxing war as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would have to have just that separate, and he would just have to do a Puerto Ricans versus Mexicans because there's, like you said, there's too many good fighters on both sides to maybe include them just in the American roster. But it's also not back in the day, so I mean, there's a couple candidates in there, but yeah, maybe. Okay. Anyways, but you did mention earlier Haney, right? And I know you wanted to give some shout outs and maybe talk a little Haney versus someone possibly.
Yeah, shout out to Mo Boxing, no problem. My man Tim Skywalker, they're doing amazing things. Add them on Instagram. And that's Mo Boxing, no problem. But they always post things about like future fights. That's why I saw the Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez possible fight that's going to be on that Canelo fight card in May. This is all fingers and toes crossed that this happens. But also Devin Haney posted something on X or Twitter that he's saying Kabata 140, so he should be moving up. So who knows what weight class he's going to? I know there's some rumbling about him calling out Boots Ennis, which I'd love to see that fight too. If he moves up to 147, that'd be a good one. Boots is in a weird predicament right now. He turned down Virgil Ortiz, moved up to 147. His last fight, he didn't look so great at home. So what's Boots going to do? The only thing Boots should do, me personally, just go for another belt, unify or move up. You said you wanted to move up, then you kind of backtracked. Teofimo Lopez called you out. Then that fight kind of fizzled in the air. So I'll fight Brian Norman Jr., which is the fight I want to see, or stay on. It's one of the two. Just get another belt at 147 and unify, or move up. So, there's a lot of things going on, and a lot of we have so many good options in boxing. 2025 is going to be a great year for boxing. This might be the year where people start looking at boxing a little more than the UFC, because when you get Sally, Margaret, and Pam at Wegmans on Tuesday talking about boxing, that's when you need something. Okay, you can get Michelle, Gretchen, and Casey talking about boxing at Harris Teeter or over there at Food Line. If they go there, if they got them talking about boxing on a Wednesday, when you get people, the Commodores, the common folks to talk about it, then you're doing something, because UFC has that already.
Hey, giggity. Let's get it. All of them. All the above. All the above. All the above. Oh, shoot. Yeah, shout out for real, like you said. Shout out Mo Boxing, no problem. Shout out Skywalker Boxing. Shout out Country Boxing. All of them. Shout out for all the partnerships that they do with us here at Ball and Buds. They're awesome people. So like Clubber D said, tap in. Also, you had some news before we get into UFC 311, the huge card this weekend where you will get all of Clubber D's club bangers in just a moment. I know you wanted to mention something about some Ariel Helwani news that he was breaking.
Yeah, Errol Hawani did a little. He explained the PFL situation, which is the other MMA organization do the tournament based MMA on ESPN, but they bought out Bellator and they had that big Bellator versus PFL card out in Saudi Arabia. I was gonna go, but I had too much of my luggage. You know what I'm saying? I got in trouble with a couple of Habibis over there. They're like the women. They got a little mad at me, so I didn't go over there. So I watched at a friend's house who's he know them over there. But anyways, Bellator is done. No more Bellator. They said there's no more Bellator. I'm not sure how they're gonna do what they're gonna do with the champions like Mix or Elbin or what's his Usman Nurmagomedov, which is Khabib's cousin. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with those fighters as far as they're gonna just make them champions at PFL or what, but there's no more Bellator. So all the back in the day Bellator fan favorites like the Eddie Alvarez, the Michael Chandlers, they're it's gone. It's gone to the wayside, like AWC, like Strikeforce, like all the rest of the old school, MMA organizations. WEC. Shout out to Uriah Faber and Jose Aldo. So
wow, yeah, I was just gonna say, kind of like they've gone to the wayside, kind of like every other major MMA organization has, except USC. Wow, just as much as like you just mentioned, all the great fighters that they've had in Bellator. Actually, impromptu little question for the fans, help them out here. What are your top 3 Bellator fighters of all time?
All right, I'll go with I mentioned 2 of them. Let's say
you can go top 5 if you have a 5 that you like.
5. Okay, I'll do Patchy Mix. I'll do Michael Chandler, Eddie Alvarez, because those fights were off the chain back in the day. Michael, exciting, didn't really fought nobody, but Michael Venom Page.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Damn. I'll say, you know what? I'll go with man King Mo because he beat my man Rampage away. King Mo Lawal. How about that?
Oh yes, sir.
Well, that one I'm ass.
Top 5. Put that out there. Hey, shout out to our boy Troy tuning in. Shout out to the Raiders crew, the Nova Raiders Boosters Club. If you are a Raiders fan, definitely
Troy. Sipping on something, Troy. I seen your collection. Sipping on something.
Shout out. They are an awesome group, Boosters Club for the Raiders. So if you're a Raiders fan, get with them. Shout out. All right. Make sure y'all subscribe to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS, and make sure you hit that.
Now. That's what I like to see.
I know. We see people piling in just in time for Clubber D's Club Bangers. We got all the likes and wow faces and all that. So please hit us with a like so we can get boosted in that algorithm. Yes, sir. We see you as well, brother. All right, let's move it in to what you came for. Those club bangers for the bell is back. The bell has made a return, baby.
The bell is back.
The bell is back. We are here for UFC 311, so let's go ahead and get on into it. UFC 311 will be from Inglewood, California this weekend, the Intuit Dome. It is going to be a good card. It has some very good fights on it, especially the main and co, but even the third fight is a good fight. We'll talk about that just here in a second, but there is one fight on the undercard that you wanted to talk about, a fighter that you've been looking at lately that you want fans to tune in for. Who is that?
Yeah, so if you guys watch the prelims, besides if you guys, if you're bored, not doing nothing, you got something to do on Saturday night, watch the prelims. They're free on ESPN or Still Your Neighbors or your friend's account. Just get on ESPN Plus and watch that. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. Not judging, but I am. Peyton Talbot, he's a young, good fighter. I think he's headlined at the prelims. He's 26 years old. He's from the Contender Series. He is 9-0 in the 9-0 MMA career. I believe this is probably his second UFC fight. I believe second or third. I'm not too sure, but I was 9-0. He has 7 KOs and 1 sub. This is an up and coming right now. Okay, so Peyton Talbot, check him out. He might be a champion in 2026. You never know, but you heard it here first. No, I'm not, but I'm not a hot take Jake. You know, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, he's not hot take Jake. I was about to say, he's not hot take Jake, but you did hear it here first. I mean, that's it. I mean, it doesn't have to be his saying. You hear that? I mean, you ain't heard Peyton Talbot from nobody else. So I know you're hearing him from other people. Clubber D gives you the good contenders always a year in advance. So make sure you're paying attention to what he says. All right. All right. Now, before we get into the co-main and our other good fight we got there, let's do a couple quick hitters. We're not going to do club bangers for these, but just your quick hitters on Kevin Holland and Reiner de Ritter. What do you think about that fight? So,
you know, the last time Kevin Holland fought, you know, I said he was with Jim, with Tom Sawyer, and then painting the fence. You know, he's that gatekeeper. He's at that level. You know what I'm saying? I like him. He's an exciting fighter. Kevin Holland, he will fight you. Doesn't matter what the welterweight or middleweight. He will move up, move down. You know, I just listened to an interview with him on Jackson podcast with Rampage Jackson. And he said he has no aspirations of becoming a champion. He said he just likes to fight and smoke blunts and play video games and race his kids. That's all he likes to do. He said if you become a champion, you get millions and millions of followers. People will bug you out in public. He's like, you coming to me, I'll take a picture or whatever. But if I'm shopping with my 12-year-old, I don't want to be bothered. So he said he has no aspirations of being a champion. He just wants to fight, smoke weed, play 2K. That's all he wants to do. And if that's what makes him happy and raise his family, I'm all for that. Okay, more power to him. Because you know, couldn't smoke back in the day until Nick Diaz did the ultimate. You know, he was the poster child of being suspended for weed, and then they didn't make it legal really until Sean O'Malley. They explained that in the podcast. So they were like, look bad about it, look down on it, which was whatever, but which is dumb. But you know, that's another story. But yeah, so he's fighting. I'm just gonna say RDR. He's an ex two division champion in one. This is his second fight in the UFC. This guy's not bad. He's been a champion before. The thing about him, his losses came to the same guy, and over in one, when they fought the first time, you know, the guy was 255. He fought the second guy. The guy was 205. So even though it was a lightweight, you know, he fought a heavyweight, and then the guy went down to 205 to beat him again. So those were his only losses. He's bounced back and had two wins since then. This guy's no slouch. But you know, we said we're not doing a club banger for this one, right?
We can. Don't matter. I got it ready.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for something.
Clubs bangers. Clubs bangers.
I got Kevin Holland bouncing back. He's going to continue to paint that fence. He's not going to let him in, okay? I got Kevin Holland winning this second round submission.
Love me some Kevin Holland. I love that pick. You know how much I like him because he's a dog, and he will just get in there and throw those dick beaters.
Talk shit to you while he's doing it, which is hilarious.
He talks shit to you while he's doing it. That's right. All right, cool. Let's move into another fight that you wanted to talk a little bit about. The number 9 ranked Beneil Dariush versus the number 10 ranked Renato Moicano. So what do you think about this lightweight bout?
Well, I mean, Beneil, this is a crossroads fight this is the second crossroads fight on the card. You know, Beneil, he's always been a great fighter. He's always been within that top 10. Got close, but couldn't become champion. But he's 36 years old. Moicano, he's on a tear. He's on a 4-fight winning streak. 2 out of those 4 were TKOs. One being what's his name? Benoit Saint Denis. And another one was Jalen Turner. You know, so those were TKOs, and then one rear naked choke. So he's been on a tear. Okay, this might be the fight where Beneil, this might be your third loss in a row, and we don't need a club banger for this. So I'm just gonna run right through it. I got Moicano winning this one. Okay, Beneil, you know, this might be it for him. Okay, this might be third in a row. Take the L. Come on, sit down on the couch with me. Okay, great career.
The light heavyweight bout featuring Yuri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill, and Yuri is the favorite in this bout. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, so this is one of those crossroads ones, like I said before, is because the reason I feel it's a crossroads fight, you got Yuri coming off a nasty head kick, you know, from the champ, Pereira. And then you got Jamal Hill getting knocked out where Pereira goes like that. That was his last fight. So it's been a while since Jamal Hill fight last fought, and then you got Proskich, who's basically, he's 1-2 in his last fights, last 3 fights, coming off a terrible knockout. And the weird thing about Jamal Hill is that he's he's 1 year older than Yuri at 33, but only has 14 fights. He's 12-2. And he's only fought, this will be his 3rd fight in 29 months, which I don't like. I know he had an Achilles injury, he had to give up the belt, so he beat Glover Teixeira, and that's what kind of sparked the whole Alex Pereira thing, because that was Alex's teammate. That's how he got the belt. But the loser of this fight is going to sit on the bench for a while.
At least maybe 2 or 3 wins, they could be right back in it. Is that true?
Well, Pereira, I think he's going to be fighting Ankalaev, who's part of the Dagestan crew, which is a fight that I don't think, Ankalaev's a high level wrestler, but he likes to stand up, which is dumb. But he's going to have to get through Ankalaev. I think they kind of been hiding him from him. Ankalaev, kind of like they were doing Marat versus Sean O'Malley, because that's his weakness, is wrestling. But with this fight, I think this would be. I don't think the winner would automatically get a title shot. I think the winner would just get probably have to fight the next person up, either the loser of the championship fight, or if Jan Blachowicz, if he comes off the bench, fight somebody like him, because he had a competitive fight with Alex Pereira. Besides Izzy Alessandria, he's the only one that kind of have a competitive fight against Alex Pereira, and I personally thought he won that fight because he took him down. He was able to wrestle him, and that was on the same night of. I remember that fight, the same night of Terence Crawford versus Earl Spence, because UFC had a show in Salt Lake that day. But yeah, I mean, this fight's going to be this winner has to win, because the loser, this is going to be 2 losses in a row, and this is when they go off from that upper echelon down to that second tier. So the winner, I don't think they'll get a title fight. I think they're like maybe 1 or 2 fights away from the title fight, but they'll definitely be in discussion. But I'm just what am I looking for?
Clubs, bangers. Clubs, bangers.
I'm going with Jamal Hill on this one. Okay, I think his boxing. Yuri, he's younger. He's had way more fights. He was a rising champion. He's an ex-UFC champion. He has serious shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little too long in the tooth. I feel Jamal's body is a little more fresher than his when it comes to MMA aspect. Pause. But I'm going with Jamal Hill on this one, and he will win by knockout. Okay, it'll be a knockout. I'm gonna say I want first round. This is a canteen style. Canteen style. First round. 7 points, 12 points. Shout out to Canteen.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I agree. If you blink, you might miss the knockout here.
Yeah.
Has only gone the distance twice in his 36 pro fights, so he definitely doesn't go the distance. Anyways, Rob Dibaswali, the champion, who is the favorite at 230, and then he's going against Umar. Don't call him Omar Nurmagomedov. I'm sorry, and he is the favorite. Umar Nurmagomedov is a 285 favorite. I apologize. So the champion is an underdog here.
They are doing that man so dirty. Like, I know Dana White, he's not part of the Dana White crew. I know he don't like him or his teammate, Aljamain Funkmaster. I mean, but the disrespect that Marat is having right now is unreal. I don't know why they have him as such an underdog. Okay, a lot of people say he was ducking Umar, but it doesn't matter. Like, I haven't seen this in a while where I think Sean O'Malley was a big I think Aljamain was a big underdog to Sean O'Malley when they fought too. So just the disrespect is wild for this, and I personally think it's going to blow up in their face, because Umar is a great fighter. He's a good young fighter. He's not super young. He's young enough, but he's never fought somebody like Marat. And when they come over here, when they come over to AKA and train, I never forget, if you watch the videos, it's online, where Daniel Cormier is a wrestling coach for Gilroy High School out in California, and they are a high-level wrestling high school. There's video of those high school kids trying to take down Habib, trying to take down Islam, Ankalaev, all these other guys from Dagestan crew. They took down Umar. They were able to take him down. You know what I'm saying? So Me personally, I think the wrestling is going to be the big factor. Okay, Umar, he's an ex Sambo combat champion at the age of 19. He can stand up, he can wrestle, but his wrestling is not on where I think Dabaswale's is. I think Dabaswale's was way more is a better wrestler. He's going to add the pressure. Okay, they call him the machine for a reason. He's basically going to take you down and ground and pound you, or give you kisses on their back like he did O'Malley in his last fight when he won the belt. If Umar cannot stop the takedown, it's going to be a long night for him, because he's going to be defending that takedown the whole night. And I don't think Marat is going to give him the distance to let him fire off on him and hit him at will. You know, Sean O'Malley, he was longer, and everybody thought that Sean O'Malley was just going to piece him up and take him up out of there. But Marat closed that distance and kept on shooting for double legs, single legs, and made it a wrestling match. And Sean O'Malley can't wrestle. I feel like Umar is a good wrestler, but when it comes to Marat's constant pressure, that's going to be the issue of this fight, and that's going to be the factor of the reason why. What am I searching for? The reason why.
Clubs bangers.
It's going to be a fifth round. Marat, the machine, Dabaswale win. He's going to win. I'm sorry, not the fifth round. It's going to decision, majority decision, unanimous decision. Marat all the way. I'm going with him. He's going to put a 1 on his record in the loss column. It'll be his first loss. Let's go. Marat will retain.
But you're right. The disrespect just for a champion.
Y'all don't ever disrespect me looking like Mary Kay and Ashley Olsen on crack, you heard? Y'all don't ever disrespect me looking like Grimace from McDonald's, you heard?
Hit the wrong button the first time, but yeah, I got that for you. I knew that would make you pop.
I love it.
Oh man, never disrespect me. Oh, that's funny. All right, cool. So yeah, take that majority unanimous decision. Take that bet to your DraftKings, FanDuel, ESPN bet, whichever one wants to sponsor us. Honestly, come on in, come sponsor us. We'll take it. We'll hype up your platform. They'll take the club bangers and they'll try to get paid. Well, they will get paid, rather. What are your thoughts on this fight, and who do you have winning this huge main event?
Well, yeah, it's like you said, it's his fourth title defense. Islam is he's in that realm where Habib is training partner, and you know, I believe they're cousins. I don't know if they're cousins, but you know, we'll say they're cousins.
I think they are
cousins. But,
yeah.
So he's entering in that realm of GOAT status at that division. Yes, he does have one loss, but he smashed everybody he's fought. You know, pause on that. You know, and his resume is starting to speak for itself. Last year, I gave him the submission of the year. You know, of Dustin Poirier, and I was even that fight was up for fight of the year. You know what I'm saying? And he's beat the who's who, and now he's getting, like I say, he's getting an upper echelon realm. Their first fight, you know, it was like a grappling, you know, wrestling demonstration. Okay, because you look at Zarukin, he was the Naga 2023. He won a medal at the Naga, and the Naga stands for National Association. Was it National? Okay, sorry, I messed up. Naga, not like your cousins. North American Grappling Association at the title. He won his weight division in 2023. So this man, he's Armenian. He can wrestle also. So their first fight was a lot of wrestling, and this is when I think they credited Islam for the first time him being taken down. It didn't look like he got taken down, but the way they scrambled, they called it a takedown, and so that was big for Zarukin. But this was before Islam worked on his stand-up. His stand-up was trash back then. Now it's leaps and bounds where it was, and that's where now he is a complete fighter at the age of 33. He can stand up or he can take you down. He can kind of do where he can basically do what he wants to do with you in the cage. Okay, if you want to stand up, he can take it there. If you want to wrestle, you don't wrestle when you can lose that aspect. His jiu-jitsu has gone up too. So to me, Islam is the standard as what a good fighter is right now. He probably is my favorite fighter at the moment. I would say he's probably number one and number two at the moment. You know, I thinking about it, he's probably there. But you know, I would say that fight was fight of the night. It was entertaining. It was a very entertaining fight. You know, the thing about him that lost to Gamrot was like, how'd you lose that? Like that fight was a bad loss. But his last fight, we watched that together at Almost Fridays or 1B Fridays or I'm Stealing the Name Friday from Friday bar in Nashville. We watched that together. That was the same night when Max Holloway sent Justin Gaethje to the Shadow Realm, and I picked Charles Oliveira to win that fight. And that was a fight where I was like, whoa, that's a robbery. We all thought that Charles Oliveira won that fight because Arman Tsarukyan didn't really do much, but they gave him that fight. Now it's his last fight. So it's like, he has looked good in the past. He's not a bad fighter. It's just that I just don't think that he's on the level of where Islam is. And also, this man grew up super rich. I don't know what his parents do or what maybe he invested in. This guy is a multi-millionaire already. So I've seen the pictures of him prior to the fight. He looks like he's in great shape. I don't know if he's on that special sauce that Paulo Costa's on, but he's pretty jacked. So I mean, I won't be shocked if we got some news after the fight. But he looks good. He looks great, and he's gonna be a game opponent. And this is gonna be he's really gonna test Islam's wrestling. He's really gonna test his wrestling and his grappling.
I wanted to ask you because they're both high level wrestlers, but Arman has a 75% takedown defense rate, so that's gonna be something crucial in this bout.
What the main factor is, the first time they fought, Islam's stand-up isn't the way it is now. His stand-up is so much better since that fight. So, and Tsarukyan, what is he going to do when Islam doesn't want to go to the ground and stops his takedown? What is he going to do when Islam hit him with that Dagestani jab, okay, and hit him with that from the mountains hook? You know what I'm saying? Like what is he going to do when he put them DBs on him? Okay, so that's going to be the main thing. Is the first time there was a lot of grappling, a lot of wrestling back and forth, which was phenomenal for people. A lot of people don't like the wrestling. Some people respect the wrestling. If you watch MMA, you got to understand that's part of the game. Okay, when everyone says, "Oh yeah, John Jones is the GOAT," John Jones is a wrestler. So don't say you don't like wrestling, then say you like him. So you got to respect the game. The thing is, though, what's going to happen when you can't take him down and he wants to stand up with you?
Right.
Right. Tsarukyan, he has some nice kicks. He has his stand up isn't bad. But I just don't think it's on the level of Islam, and we could do a club banger, we could not do a club banger. I don't think we even need to do a club.
Clubs banger.
I got Islam 110%. I got Islam. He's about to. I'm gonna let you pick the round, Omar. I got Islam winning. It's not gonna go to decision, but you pick the round. I'm gonna see what round you think, and I'm gonna see what round I think. We'll loser has to take a shot.
I'm gonna give Islam round 4. Round 4 TKO. Maybe
TKO. Okay. I'm gonna go Islam round. I got to go in round 3. If it goes past round 4, we both have to take one. If it goes before round 3, we both got to take one. If it goes round 3, you got to take one. Goes round 4, I got to take one. A win's a win, though, for our little wager. A win's a win for our wager. A win's a win. If it's a TKO, if it's a submission, if all y'all out there, if he wins, if Islam wins, and it's not the fashion that I say, I don't want to hear it, okay? Do a side bet and just have him winning just straight up, all right? I don't want to hear this. Oh, you say he's going to win in the second round with that? I don't care, all right? He's going to win. He's going to win either way. So don't come back to me like some of y'all have done on the side. Hey, man, I bet in a round that you said he was going to win it. What do I do? I have the sports almanac. Is my name Biff? Did I go back in time? All right, okay? I'll give you my prediction right now, what I think is going to happen. Just say they're going to win, all right? If you're too scared, do a side bet, do a part, whatever it is. Hedge your bets. Be like, nah, okay, submission. Okay, he said submission. Okay, well, I'm going to go knockout, or I'm just going to say win straight up. Regardless, he's going to win, all right? So hear that shit.
There you go. And so officially, Clubber D's club bangers for the night are, so you can put them in your betting system, Jamal Hill, KO round 1. Dwabashwali with did you want that majority decision or unanimous decision?
Yeah, I'd say it's going to be unanimous. Unanimous, yeah.
Unanimous.
I think
and then
5 rounds of ground and pound.
Okay. 5 rounds of ground and pound. And then Islam in the main event, round 3 TKO. Those are your Clubber D club bangers. All right, awesome. Thank y'all for tuning in. You see down there in the comment, it says subscribe at YouTube and follow us on Instagram at BallandBuds, BallandBuds. There's also the QR code handy up there. You can scan that to do all those things I just said, and find Clubber D's TikTok. We'll see if it'll be around after this week. May or may not be, but if you watch my show on Monday, you were heard there our inside buyer, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, is looking to buy it. So that may still happen. So you may be TikTok. They don't want to sell, but honestly, I just don't see what they can do because they're going to have their hand forced. I mean, if not, they're just going to be banned, here in the U.S. So whatever. But anyways, TikTok. We'll just say that to get us in the algorithm.
Porn is banned here in Virginia. You know, you're not allowed to be on porn sites in Virginia. So
Yeah, I mean, I heard in the grapevine that there is some age verification or something. You have to maybe sign in, or I wouldn't know.
But. Yeah, I wouldn't know because some of the videos with some of y'all's mamas got taken down. So man, I can't really.
There was no reason for us to go back when your mom's not up there. Boom.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, y'all wanted me to reenact how y'all was born. I did. So it's what can't watch now on the hub because it's they want you to register. So sorry.
Somebody hits your mom with that Ric Flair.
You and I are limousine ride. Jet fly. You're stealing. We're dealing. Son of a gun. Woo, 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 woo.
After Night of Water's Edge, that's where I took her. But anyway, that's another story.
Space Mountain, baby. All right. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. We hope you all are having a good time. Again, we are Ball and Buzz, Clubber D, the Combat G, and the sports professor with the Combat Sports Special. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Please make sure you hit that like button, boost us in that algorithm. Let's get to the fan mail bag. Yes, we've got some questions. Yeah, we got some questions that we got in today. So, first of all, this comes from username Big Reserves from Qatar. Shout out. Thank you for watching in Qatar. He says Turkey Al Sheikh has bought Ring Magazine and DAZN. What are your thoughts on how this will affect boxing?
Well, yeah, he bought the boxing portion of DAZN, and DAZN was failing towards the end. Like people were like, oh, once they started doing pay-per-views, people kind of started going against DAZN because their whole thing when they gave Canelo that big contract is that no more pay-per-views, all the fights were free, just a subscription. But now, since Turkey Al Sheikh has kind of revamped that, DAZN boxing channel is going to be so much better because they have, like I mentioned earlier, Top Rank, Queensberry, Matchroom, Golden Boy promotions, all those promotions all under one roof. We're going to get the fights we want to see. So, and with him buying the Ring Magazine, revamping that's going to bring balance to boxing, kind of like how Anakin Skywalker was supposed to be balanced to the Force, but he didn't, and turned into Darth Vader. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all who don't, shut the hell up.
You ain't a nerd if you like Star Wars. Star Wars is awesome. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Some of y'all, I see how some of y'all look. And you look like extras in Star Wars movies. So y'all just saying, I've seen how some of y'all people look out there talking shit.
Some of your mamas look like Jar Jar Binks.
Like Mandalorian, goddammit.
Mandalorian. All right. Next mailbag question, which is funny because this username is hilarious, seeing how I just played the Ric Flair. But this comes from Nature Boy Rogers, which is hilarious. Yeah, Buddy Rogers. London, United Kingdom. They say Tyson Fury has now retired for a fourth time. Clubber D, do you actually believe this will be the time?
I think Tyson Fury is just, I know he suffers through a lot of mental issues and losing back-to-back times to Usyk and not getting that dream of becoming undisputed champion. This is messing with him, I think. He has nothing to be mad about. He's still one of the top boxers. You know, if he still won the box, he could beat probably 95% of the boxers out right now. I don't know. It's hard to say because right now, if he fights Anthony Joshua, they can put at least 90 to 100,000 in Wembley right now. With no belt on the line, they could do that. You know, Joshua and Du Bois put like 90,000 in Wembley when they fought. You know, so even though it's for a belt, but people don't know who Daniel Du Bois is out there. They just know who Joshua is. When he fought Derek Chisora or Dillian White, talk about 90, 70, 80, 90,000 people in the stands to watch them fight these people. So I think Tyson Fury just might need just some time off. But if he gets offered a good fight, I think he'll come out with time. I don't believe it. I don't.
Hell no. Man, whatever.
He's just that guy.
Boxers do this all the time, and he has already done this 3 times before and come back. And it's never even like
Mhm.
it's a long time that we actually think it's going to last. It's usually like 3 months later, like you said, once a big fight gets offered to him. It's like his play that he does to get more money and more fights. And it's like, okay, dude, get it. And yeah, now Usyk done knocked your head off twice.
Mhm.
So now you maybe need to pull this move more than you needed to pull it previously in the past. But what is that? What is that old story? The boy that cried wolf or whatever. And it's just like, okay, we don't believe you
We talked about a good. You got how many wrestlers have retired and came back? You know what I mean? Uh, MVP just recently came back and wrestled. You got Ric Flair wrestled a gazillion times and then finally retired.
anymore.
Mick Foley went to TNA and wrestled a whole bunch of times, came back. Hulk Hogan came back at a rally. I mean, my bad.
Stupid!
Sting, you got Sting. I think Sting's staying retired, but a lot of people. Money changes a lot of stuff. Okay, I think if the money's on the right money on the line, and it's a legacy fight, I can see him coming back for that. I mean, like I said, he's still better than about 95% of the heavyweights. There's only maybe like 3 or 4 that could probably beat him right now. So it's just take some time off. You lost to Usyk. Usyk is a phenomenon. It's probably something we won't see for a little while. Usyk is up there as one of the best heavyweights of all time, probably the best cruiserweight of all time, who prior to that was Evander Holyfield, but he's came undisputed at heavyweight, and Usyk is that guy. And if he wants to get rid of the belts, if Usyk wants to get rid of the belts, what will stop Tyson Fury to fight for one of those belts?
Yep. And here comes your brother coming in. Shout out to clubs. The only reason why I think Fury might stay retired is due to his age. What do you have to say
Well,
about
he's
that?
37. Usyk is 38. So he can still go. Heavyweights are a little different. Heavyweights can still, they can go at a late in their age because it's not as a high intense as the lighter weights. You're not gonna see Mayweather fighting at even though Mayweather fought in his late 30s, you're not gonna see him fighting at like 41, something like that. You're not gonna see like a George Foreman type deal where he's fighting in his 40s and winning. So I think heavyweights kind of have that factor to them. A lot of the smaller weights they can't do that. So.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
at age 37, I think he's 37. 37, he can still win. Wilder, they're all the top heavyweights are in that age bracket. Even AJ's like 35 or 36 now, So there's not that younger group that's going to be taking over everything. Zhang is 40 years old, the one I knocked out Wilder. You know what I
right.
mean? And Big Bang Zhang, and he said the dude he's gonna fight now. He said he's gonna bang him. I said, oh my god.
Wow. Pause.
The pause, and this guy is killing me. But
I was watching it inside the NBA, and Charles Barkley was talking about Joker, and he was like, "And man, when you got some dude just," I was like, "Yo!" And Shaq just starts cracking up. I was dying so hard.
or we say he's juggling to the 2 balls, and it's like, come on, man. Hey, yo,
Yeah, do that. All right, last mailbag question from the fans before you get my sports professor mailbag question. Clay Guida retired today.
yeah.
This comes from, sorry, my bad. I forgot to give the username. Shout out to Chuck Norris's Knuckles from Chicago, Illinois. Thank you for tuning in. He says Clay Guida retired today. What are your thoughts on Clay Guida's career?
He is the, let's say, poor man's Jim Miller who's still fighting. Clay Guida is just one of those guys that's been around forever. Since the WEC days before UFC bought them out. That's where the smaller guys, the flyweights, the bantamweights, that's where Uriah Faber, Dominic Cruz, who's just retired, he's having his last fight pretty soon. Jose Aldo, Chad Mendez, all those guys came from the WEC. And those were anything under 145. I think they had 155, but anything under that, that was where they came, where they fought. Then UFC absorbed them and started having those lighter weight fights. That's why we had the Peter Yawns, the Sean O'Malley's, the Aljamain Sterling's, the Alexander Volkovs, the Volkanovski's. Where the hell his name is? I'm messing me up now. Thinking of wrestlers. But anyways, Clay Guida, he's a guy that, in boxing terms, I would say he is a rest in peace, Arturo Gotti-ish, Mickey Ward type, Rocky Juarez, the guys that were there, but they were never able to get gold, like major champions. Like they were good fighters, they're always game. They fought the who's who, but they just never got the belt or never became that guy, more of a fan favorite. Like Clay Guida would come out, he would all energy, he'd burp in the corner, do all that stuff. He's a great wrestler. I believe he beat Nate Diaz back in the day. So he had some good wins on his belt, but I think his last loss to Chase was it Chase Hooper, the young kid, and then it's a young man sport. He's up there. I would say Guida was he in his late 30s or early 40s? I know he had to be up there.
He's like 39 maybe or something.
He's up there. I mean, like I said, you can't. It's a young man sport. You can't keep doing this, but he's in my hardworking Hall of Fame. He's in my Vinny Testaverde Hall of Fame. Okay, he's in long in the tooth, decent, above average fighter. Respect to him.
Clay Guida was born in December 8th, 1981. So a little older than us. A little bit older than us.
He's 43.
About to be 44. Wow. Okay. That makes sense.
So go sit down on the couch. You'll be all right.
Yeah. You had like you said, you had a long, distinguished career. By the way, his full name is Clayton Charles Guida. I want you to know that.
Oh, CCG. Okay.
Wikipedia page. All right, shout out everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get to my mailbag question, and this is the one from earlier. But I know we kind of glossed over it for a second, and we didn't actually get an answer from you on. Do you think that if Islam wins this fight, and maybe he might need him, I don't know. You tell me how many fights he might need. When could Islam Makhachev become the GOAT at lightweight? Ever?
See, he is in a tough predicament because he might just be forced into becoming the GOAT because if he wins this fight, it's gonna be who's next or who's worth fighting him. He wants to become a double champion. He wants to be the 170 champion.
Okay.
The issue is that Bilal Muhammad, who he trains with, is at 170. He can't move up. He's not going to fight him. So, Islam might be stuck with just knocking out 155ers. If he wins, like I said, if he wins this fight, this is his fourth title defense. I'm not sure how many Habib had, but Habib took out the who's who. Islam. If who's going to beat Oliveira again? Is he going to beat if Chandler ever gets a shot? Like what's
so lesser competition than Khabib had? You would say?
I say lesser. It's close to the same. But Khabib just he took out. I mean, when Khabib was in, the biggest fight marquee for me was the Conor, just for the build up. And the way he beat the crap out of Conor. And then if you guys ever watch that clip again of the brawl, Islam's the one who runs in it and hits Conor upside his head. I think he'll take over. I definitely think he'll take over because I forgot who Bilal Muhammad is fighting, but the guy he's fighting could beat him. And then I can see Islam moving up. And side note, you just made me think of this. Ilia Topuria put up a Twitter post at Bilal Muhammad. He's saying you have no kids, you have no knockouts, you have no takedowns. So not only can you, he said, I forgot the verse, but he's basically saying no knockouts, no takedowns, no kids, so you can't get over on men and women base, something of that nature. But he's basically calling him a punk. Yeah, I should have copied that tweet that Ilia Topuria did, but he's talking mad spicy. A fight that I would like to see is Topuria if he moves up. Islam doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to be known as the guy who's fighting the smaller guys. Because Volkanovski, what's his name? The 145 champ, Alexander from Australia, who was the 145 GOAT. Volkanovski? That could be right.
Volkanovski. You got it.
Yeah. So he doesn't be known as fighting the smaller guys because Volkanovski moved up twice to fight him at 155, and while he was champion. So I don't know if he wants to entertain Ilia Topuria moving up from 145, but that'd be a hell of a fight. That'd be, I pay. Well, I always pay, but I would pay to see that fight. You know what I'm saying? I might go to that fight. Ball and Buzz haven't sent me out in a while. I don't know what's going on with our budget, but back when we were doing this thing audio before we got on video, I was going to all the fights in Vegas, Abu Dhabi. I ain't taking no pictures because it was during COVID, but I was at those fights. And I remember I went to London for a fight too. and I met in the Bear, and it was pretty cool. And Danger Mouse, he was out there too. Shout out.
Paddington Bear. He
Shout out
came.
to all of our fans out in Belgium.
Shout out to fans in Belgium. Shout out to our fans in China, and shout out to our fans in Peru, where Paddington is originally from, not the UK, if no one knew that. Paddington is from Peru. He actually has a new movie coming out where he goes back to Peru to his roots. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, by the way, yeah, I don't know. I just read about. I got an email from like Disney a couple days ago.
He wore that dusty ass overcoat in Peru.
He came from Peru and he immigrated to the UK. He's not from the UK originally.
They probably said he got to get up out of here, kind of like how Americans
They don't like him.
You got to get up out of here. Take the Jamaicans with you too. Damn, UK trying to be like America. Oh, damn, that's terrible.
Get out of here, son. But by the way, to answer your question, Bilal Muhammad was his last fight was against Shavkat Rakhmonov, but they don't have a.
Okay, that's who has to fight. Okay, yeah, that's the person who might take that belt. He ain't no joke.
So, but anyways, yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in today. It's been I was about to curse for no reason. It's been an awesome show. Clubber D, do you have any other MMA or boxing news for the fans before we get out of here?
All I gotta say is, guys, tune in this weekend. We'll see, compare contrast, see if I was right, and if I was wrong, I don't want to hear it. But if I was right, I do want to hear it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. So help your boys out, okay? I'm trying to go back to these fights. All right, I'm trying to go back over there. When we was doing a podcast time, we were doing this just hearing our voices. I was going to these fights, but now that we're in person, you can see me. Now I'm not going to fight. So please help us out.
We also need a sponsor, please. So if you know any companies looking to sponsor us, I would love to send us to all the fights. But once we went from audio to video, the price
money got dried up.
And the price, the amount of hours it takes to make the videos over the audio, we've been shelling out of pocket, and we ain't got enough funds. So if anybody wants to sponsor us so we can start going to fights, we need some more money in the coffers. That's for damn sure, because yeah, you're right. Audio to video is another kind of beast. Anyway, shout out, make you subscribed at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Clubber D is on TikTok for as long as that lasts. There's a QR code up top. You can scan that for ease of subscription. And again, make sure you like this, share with your friends and family so we can get boosted in that algorithm. Again, it's free. It doesn't hurt you. So hit that up thumb button. That being said, we're going to get out of here for the night, and we will see you for the next time here in probably the next couple weeks for Clubber D, the Combat G, and yours truly, the Sports Professor. We thank you for tuning in. Holla 5,000.
He's with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. Heart like winter cold. Bust these fools, anything less than killing whack rappers is a crime. I stay trying to get mine. Stacking value, packing venues, winning over time. Ain't no fine timeline. Open your eyes, you're looking for the best, and this is what you find. Game is only for the bold. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing from parts unknown, your UFC and combat sports insider, Clubber D, the Combat G, and the Sports Professor.